Okay, so the first thing is let's understand the parenting dilemma that a Muslim faces in today's world. First of all, there's no manual, right? You don't wake up and no. When you buy a new machine, when you buy a new car, it comes with a manual, right? This is what you do when it goes off. This is what you do when it breaks down. This is what you do when things go wrong. But when a baby is born, it doesn't come with a manual, right? It doesn't come, here's a manual, here's your child, here's a manual how to raise this child. Specifically, there's no modern manual. There are books written by scholars which are very amazing. For example, there's books by Ibn Taymiyyah and Ghazali which are suitable for the ages they wrote about, the issues they faced that time. But when we come to look at those books and try to replicate and understand from our modern times, it is very difficult to reconcile. The second dilemma is that, as Brother Jibril mentioned, we don't really understand what our children are going through. We don't understand the peer pressure, we don't understand some of the technologies they're using, so we don't really understand what they're going through, so it's very hard for us to give advice on something that, what are they going through? Think about your own parents. Did they understand your challenges? Did they understand your realities? Your parents face the same issue. Thirdly, economic realities. We live in a world today that, I don't know about Nigeria, but is it dual income household here? Like both parents are working? Okay, so both parents are working, so there's less time parenting. Both parents they read to work because they need to keep up with the expenses, with schools, with university when the time comes. So the economic realities is taking away time from our children, and we tend to outsource our parenting to school, outsource our parenting to the Islamic schools, outsource our parenting to out there to the TV sometimes. So we tend to outsource our parenting and don't really spend enough time together. So that's from the parent perspective. Let's look at the children perspective. From the children perspective, they are facing this dilemma. They're pulled between two worlds. The world of Islam, Qur'an, Salah, the Islamiyah school, and the world of TV, music, films, movies, friends, peer pressure. And they're being pulled. And it's natural. It's not like, it's nothing wrong with them. They're just being pulled because it's not the way before they used to live in a village and there's no connection to the outside world and whatever they see is who they see around them. Now they see the whole globe. In an instant, they can see everything that anyone else in the world can see. So they're pulled between two worlds. This world of being a pious, good Muslim and this world of, I need to, be with my friends. Which brings the next point. Number two is that there's a global peer pressure. Before, the peer pressure was, oh, my friend in school is smoking. I want to smoke with him. Oh, my friend in university is doing this. I want to do that same thing. Now, the peer pressure is global. Hey, those guys in America are doing this. Those guys in Saudi are doing this. Those guys in China are doing this. The craze of the Gangnam style, it went crazy, went viral. Oh, the happy song, went viral. Every city in the world was replicating this peer, was under this influence, same peer pressure. So the peer pressure is global. Thirdly, the gender roles have become confused. Okay? I'm going to say something sensitive here. Boys aren't boys anymore, and girls aren't girls anymore. Boys aren't boys anymore. Why? Because boys are pulled between two extremes. The extreme to be soft, and you guys know what I mean, and the extreme of being macho, strong, and slap a girl, do whatever I want. Right? There's two extremes, either being a macho gangster style, or being a soft guy. And girls also, the roles are being confused. They're either being independent, I don't care, I can do everything my own, or the other extreme is, I'm a Miss Universe, Miss Beauty, I'll follow the latest fashion trend. So there's just not any role models for them to understand how to balance and to lead, to be a true Muslim man, a true Muslim woman. So far I've depressed you. I've made it sound so dire. But what I wanted to do now is really go back into our sources, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent us the Qur'an as a guidance for mankind, and it is timeless. And what I do now, when I had my child, I asked myself, what will I do? I went to the parenting section of a bookstore and I was like, this is confusing. It's like there's hundreds of books, how to raise sugar-free children, how to raise gluten-free children, how to raise non-obese children, how to raise without discipline, how to raise with discipline, how to not smack your child, how to smack your child. I was like, there's so much parenting advice out there. And I was like, subhanAllah, you know what? What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger told me? Because that is timeless advice that I can take. When I thought about it, I realized we have amazing advice in a chapter of Quran is Surah Luqman. So let's look at Surah Luqman, and what we're going to do, we're going to look at each verse and specifically the conversations happening between Luqman radiallahu anh, and his child, and see what exactly is Allah teaching us about teaching our children, about parenting, and how to practically apply in today's modern world. That's the series we go through. So next slide, please. Okay, first verse. I'm specifically looking at verse number 12, where the story begins, where you hear the conversation first. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes Luqman alayhi salam with some descriptions. Number one, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ أَنِ اشْكُرْ لِلَّهِ. Luqman alayhi salam, according to scholars, majority of scholars say he was not a prophet, or he was not somebody who received revelation. And that's actually a beautiful way of Allah teaching us this parenting thing. You can do it. Because if Allah said, a prophet said this, we say, oh man, he's a prophet, he receives revelation, he knows how to deal with this. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, this is Luqman, he was an Ethiopian slave who was a carpenter. He's a simple man, he was a carpenter, he used to go to work, he had his responsibilities. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, this man Luqman, but he had something that made him stand out. What was it? Wisdom, hikmah. And again, this again comes to parents. We need hikmah. We need wisdom. What is wisdom? Who can define wisdom? Wisdom is knowledge plus experience. There you go. Knowledge plus experience. Knowledge, you can be the best scholar in the world. And you can give everything about, yes, this is how you should do it, but if you don't have the experience, that's when you do lack wisdom. But one who has knowledge and experience, that's when you have a wise person. That's why people who make a lot of mistakes become wise, because they've learned from that mistakes and they've learned from that wisdom. So وَلَقَدْ أَتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ أَنِ اشْكُرْ لِلَّهِ. And Allah is reminding, the first thing before this passage begins, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding Luqman alayhi salam to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the first thing as parents. We tend to complain about our children. They drive us nuts. We want to sometimes kill them. But in the end, we need to be grateful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with this beautiful gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm sure all of you as parents, as I went through the first time you see your child, it is priceless. It is priceless. So be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.